Hi, I'm Song. Today we'll read a beginner level story called 초록색이 된 개구리. Before we dive into the details, let's read the whole story together first. 알록달록한 애벌레에게 색깔이 없는 개구리가 말했어요. 오이 줄게요. 초록색 줄 수 있어요? 애벌레는 오이를 받고 맛있게 먹었어요. 그리고 개구리에게 초록색을 줬어요. 개구리는 초록색이 됐어요. 하지만 애벌레는 초록색이 없어졌어요. The first sentence is 알록달록한 애벌레에게 색깔이 없는 개구리가 말했어요. Here, 알록달록한 comes from the adjective 알록달록하다, meaning to be colorful. To describe the following noun, you drop the final 다 and attach the noun modifying ending 니은 because the stem ends in a vowel. Next, let's look at the word 애벌레, which means caterpillar. It's actually a combination of two parts. 애 meaning baby and 벌레 meaning bug or insect. So 애벌레 literally means a baby bug, which is a caterpillar. And the particle 에게 functions as to, so 애벌레에게 means to the caterpillar. 색깔 means color, which you can also just say as 색. The particle e is a subject marker and we use e instead of 가 because the noun 색깔 ends in a consonant. 없는 comes from 없다, to not exist or to not have. To modify the following noun, 개구리, you drop 다 and attach the noun modifying ending 는. So, 색깔이 없는 means colorless or having no color. 개구리 refers to the frog and the particle 가 marks it as the subject of the sentence. Since 개구리 ends with a vowel, we use 가 instead of e. Finally, 말했어요 is the past form of 말하다, meaning to speak or to say, with its present form being 말해요. Now, you might notice two subject markers here. 이 in 색깔이 and 가 in 개구리가. 색깔이 is just a subject inside the modifying clause. Color doesn't exist. While 개구리가 is the main subject performing the actual action 말하다, to speak. Remember, in Korean, the main verb always comes at the very end of the sentence. Altogether, this sentence tells us that a colorless frog spoke to a colorful caterpillar. 오이 줄게요. 초록색 줄 수 있어요? 오이 means cucumber. 줄게요 comes from 주다, meaning to give. The ending 을게요 is in the future tense and expresses a promise or intention, meaning I will. Together, they mean I will give you. 초록색 means the color green. 줄 수 있어요 combines the verb 주다 again with the grammar pattern 을 수 있다, which means can followed by polite present ending 요. So, 줄 수 있어요 asks a polite favor. Can you give me? You might notice that the object marker 을 is omitted here, which happens very often in everyday conversation. Altogether, this sentence conveys, I will give you a cucumber. Can you give me the color green? 애벌레는 오이를 받고 맛있게 먹었어요. The noun 애벌레 uses the topic marker 는, which sets the main topic, meaning as for the caterpillar. We use 는 instead of 은 because 애벌레 ends in a vowel. 오이 again means cucumber, and in 오이를 the particle 를 is the object marker. The verb for this object is 받고, which combines 받다 meaning to receive with 고, a connective particle that comes from 그리고 and means and. 맛있게 comes from 맛있다, meaning to be delicious. And ending 게 turns the adjective into an adverb, so 맛있게 literally means deliciously. Finally, 먹었어요 is the past form of 먹다, meaning to eat, with its present form being 먹어요. Therefore, this sentence tells us that the caterpillar received the cucumber and happily ate it. 그리고 개구리에게 초록색을 줬어요. Here, 그리고 is a conjunction meaning and or and then. 개구리에게, the noun 개구리 is followed by 에게, meaning to the frog. 초록색 means green again. The object marker 을 is used instead of 를 because 초록색 ends in a consonant. The verb 줬어요 is the past form of 주다 and its present form is 줘요. So this sentence means, and then the caterpillar gave the green color to the frog. 개구리는 초록색이 됐어요. The noun 개구리 uses the topic marker 는, and now the topic shifts to the frog. As for the frog, and in 초록색 이, the particle 이 is the subject marker. The following verb is 됐어요, which comes from 되다, meaning to become. In Korean, when you make a sentence with the verb 되다, the noun that you become always takes a subject marker like 이 or 가. The present form is 돼요, and the past form is 됐어요. Thus, this sentence conveys that the frog became green. 하지만 애벌레는 초록색이 없어졌어요. Here, 하지만 is a conjunction meaning but or however. The noun 애벌레 uses the topic marker 는 to shift the focus back once again, meaning as for the caterpillar. And in 초록색 이, again, the particle 이 functions as a subject marker. The last word 없어졌어요 comes from the verb 없어지다, meaning to disappear or to be gone. This is a combination of 없다, meaning to not exist, and the grammar pattern 어지다, which expresses a change in state, meaning to become. Therefore, this final sentence means, but as for the caterpillar, the green color was gone. 알록달록한 애벌레에게 색깔이 없는 개구리가 말했어요. 오이 줄게요. 초록색 줄 수 있어요? 애벌레는 오이를 받고 맛있게 먹었어요. 그리고 개구리에게 초록색을 줬어요. 개구리는 초록색이 됐어요. 하지만 애벌레는 초록색이 없어졌어요. 알록달록한 애벌레에게 색깔이 없는 개구리가 말했어요. 오이 줄게요. 초록색 줄 수 있어요? 애벌레는 오이를 받고 맛있게 먹었어요. 그리고 개구리에게 초록색을 줬어요. 개구리는 초록색이 됐어요. 하지만 애벌레는 초록색이 없어졌어요. 알록달록한 애벌레에게 색깔이 없는 개구리가 말했어요. 오이 줄게요. 초록색 줄 수 있어요? 애벌레는 오이를 받고 맛있게 먹었어요. 그리고 개구리에게 초록색을 줬어요. 개구리는 초록색이 됐어요. 하지만 애벌레는 초록색이 없어졌어요. For your homework, read the story aloud several times. After that, record yourself and listen carefully to your own voice. This is the key part of the practice to hear yourself and notice what you can improve. When you finish, write in the comments 숙제했어요, which means I did my homework. Keep reading at your own pace and I'll see you for the next story. Enjoy your practice and see you soon.